Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And this is a bonus Libra reading. So we are not using the regular Thoth deck. We are using the Carnival at the End of the World. And today the card is the Devil. Okay, let me show it to you. I love the artwork on this deck. It is quite beautiful. Okay, if you can see that, hopefully it's in focus. Pretty pretty violent, a little grotesque there, but we'll see how this has to do with the tea leaves. And I have to say, we get the Devil card, we think, okay, this is going to be a problem, something's going on. Well, I invite it because I really do relate it to breaking down old constraints, old coping mechanisms, societal expectations, beliefs, really kind of living your own way. Okay. So, let's start. I want to start right here. Okay, we have the serpent. And it's kind of winding around. Now, if you look here, we have a person who's kind of sitting right there, and we have the tree, okay? And this feels like, obviously we know about the serpent and the tree and the apple and all of this, right? So, in a way, I feel like this is kind of really a meditation on... and we have the person who is meditating here next to the tree. They're sitting in this metaphysical zone, meditating on what are your roles? What have your roles been in life? What was expected of you? How were you raised? Were the things that your family wanted for you the things that you wanted for yourself? Okay. How easy was it to conform to that, or did you break away somewhere in between? This is I think one of the, most profound things of any of our lives. It's up there with love, death, and maybe I don't even know what else. finding some kind of meaning in life, right? But the other part of that is becoming your own person, okay? And what kind of tools, what kind of environment are we provided in those formative years that are going to assist us in that work? Come over here. Hello, and come over here. TT says hello. She's gonna come sit with me on this side. Okay. So this is something you've been thinking about a lot, I think. This is at least something that has kind of come up and actively inserted itself into your life. Okay. Deciding once again, where are you gonna go next? What are you gonna do? Are you happy? I once asked my husband, how often do you think about, am I happy? And he said, oh, once in a while, or am I doing, am I happy with what I'm doing in life and so on? Not just am I happy in the moment, but, I thought that was interesting because I think about it every day. And we're just different like that. We're all different like that. Sometimes, you find a person, they're constantly obsessing over, am I doing the right thing? How does this make me feel? You're just really fixated on it. Others, maybe don't think about it very often at all. Which I personally had never considered really. I thought everybody thought about. Are you happy or are you content? What do I feel like in this moment? Constantly checking in with that. And there's no right or wrong way, but I do think that you are in this portion of life where, things are changing. You're making some different moves. You have a lot of knowledge, and that serpent, we can see that with the serpent, with the tree. This is really a symbol of our greater life, above and below. Okay, not just one aspect of our life, but all of it, and as a whole, the bigger picture. Okay, and there is that person who is sitting there, really contemplating these things, not just within your mundane physical life, not just within your career, your chosen work, but here, you might just need to go this way. Sorry, thank you. I love you. But also really thinking about, your spiritual life, your relationship with the divine. Where's your place in this world? What is this life really about? What is your true will? What is your, the thing that really drives you? And these are all big things. And I think every once in a while, and I think this is kind of what, like middle-aged, the kind of shift that people have in that time in their life. Maybe once their kids are getting a little older, or they're starting to think about what is going to happen as they get into those later years, their elder years, and so on. And, we kind of joke about it. There are the many cliches about what happens in middle life. But, I think that this is really a place where we kind of reevaluate. Are we living well? Are we meeting our dreams, our desires? Have those changed? And not only that, how have we been affected by those earlier years? This is when individuation really starts to begin. And individuation is kind of the process of integrating different parts of self, okay? The shadow work, the different archetypes, the anima, animus, mother, father, child, fool, the devil, there are many of them, right? So we begin the work of getting to know these things, especially the ones that we don't like to look at, okay? And they can be hard. But all of this is kind of rooted in those beginning years. Were we allowed to express ourselves? Were we allowed to be emotional? Did anybody listen to us? Really listen to us? Did they consider our ideas, our feelings? Were those worthwhile? Were we neglected? Were we abandoned? Was there a lot of trauma? Did we, there's so many things. And your childhood, is a time when things are quite amplified. There's a sensitivity, a closeness to every movement. If you can think of, listening to some beautiful opera or something very moving, and you're just listening to each progression, you're hanging on it, right? It is making you feel things are rising in you. This is not unlike childhood. If you can remember the feeling of somebody just saying one little thing to you, and that thing can become a core belief of your life, if you remember it or not, right? And so when we get into this middle part of our lives, when we are looking back, contemplating, Figuring out, are we doing what we wanted to do? Are we doing what we thought we wanted to do? Did somebody plant the seed in my psyche where I thought this is what I wanted to do? Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was never. It was a belief, that I don't even remember where it came from. And all this can be confusing, but it's also quite empowering, right? It's where we begin to reclaim ourselves, right? And that's what the devil really, the devil archetype anyways, really symbolizes for me, is this beginning of throwing out all of the nonsense, all of the conditioning, all of the things, self-consciousness, shame, guilt, all that stuff that is so limiting. The narrow vision of the world, things that we believe about, all kinds of stuff we've never even experienced or have no, basis of knowledge within. But it's there for us to explore, right? We throw away these beliefs so that we may be open to exploring more and more and more. And so we also have the goddess here, one of the goddess symbols. And, this is definitely an image of the divine feminine consciousness. This is a consciousness that holds us, protects us, loves us, does give us the room to be the many things. We are safe there. This is our safe space. This is our mother, even if it, our actual mother was not this person for us. There is that ever mother that flows through all things. And, at some point, if you were not, privileged enough to have a mother who at times, at least, could be this for you, you have to be this for yourself, right? You have to be that strength that maybe was missing. And this is part of that process is, and we talk about the the interior child, the inner child, and raising that child, taking care of that child, protecting that child. Okay, don't put your buns on there. Come on. Ooh. Come here, Mama. You stay away from Papa. She likes to knock over my Papa leg, but statue that's kind of off camera here, but we keep them over there so we can look at them while we're doing readings. Okay, and so anyway, sometimes you must be that for yourself. And then we turn this and we see, okay, I have a gopher who is looking at the moon. We have a beautiful magical being here with all kinds of elemental things kind of spiraling around. And then also we have a bird, a dove, okay? So we have peace. We're coming into a great peace. Not a lull, not an absence of energy, but just really a peace in our understanding and in that self-confidence and that strength. We have the magician. Whew, what a powerful energy to come out of all of this work and to be aligned with it. The world creator. You create your world. You create the way that you perceive the world. You create the world that you live in. You create your beliefs, your reactions. You control your reactions. You become this magical being living, maybe a little eccentrically. That's okay. That's actually probably pretty cool, right? But really having the ability to reconfigure aspects of your life so that you may do the work that you want to do. Okay, so that you may dispel some of the energies that kind of get stagnant. They begin to become blockages. When you have this keen eye and ability to move that energy, you keep yourself flowing. Okay, you become fluid. Fluid as the water, as the airs, and so on, okay? And then the gopher, I love the idea of the gopher coming out of its little hole, coming up and staring at the night sky. You are protected, you are dutiful to the work, but you are also continually in awe of the beauty of all things, okay? You think of those subterranean tunneling and the world that is unseen. And I really do think that you must have quite a well-formed inner world. If that is fantasy, if that is astral, if that is, kind of the spiritual mansion, as St. Teresa likes to talk about, or castle, I should say, the interior castle, and so on. Whatever you call it, however you perceive it, it is beautiful and potent. And I think that you are very dedicated to being the architect of it. And as we really do allow ourselves to work on those interior landscapes, so it does change our exterior life. I always like to use the example of this, and this is, kind of related, kind of unrelated, but I'm in recovery for substance abuse, and I have been for almost 10 years now. And I kind of always think about how, any place that you go, you kind of perceive it to be as you are yourself, or you're experiencing things. So when I was younger, I would think, oh, this town, it's, all just... it's a lot of drugs, a lot of, stuff going on in the streets, and all kinds of whatever, chaos, right? And that may be true. It may be true. But as my life changed, I was refocused on other things. I began to see the same places as, the beautiful parks and, all of the, no, don't eat my plant. Hey now, that's not nice, you silly. That is not for you. But yeah, you notice all of the beautiful things that are going on, the opportunities to, go to cultural things, museums and music and wonderful people and so whatever it is. So this is how I think of this, is that it really depends on the eyes that we are looking, the lenses that we are looking through. And, it changes. It changes based on the things that you're focused on, the way that you live your life, your goals, what you immerse yourself in, and of course the things that you spend your time thinking about, studying, what kind of media. The other thing, my other example is when I'm watching a lot of like true crime stuff, which I am hopelessly follow. I go through phases. Sometimes I stop, but when I'm really into one of those true crime modes, I look at the whole world as being, all kinds of terrible things happening all the time. That's all I think about. Well, not all I think about, but you know what I mean. I go out and I think, oh, this, anybody around me could be doing awful things. And listen, that is true. It is true. But if I'm not watching that stuff, I'm not fixated on is not at the forefront of my mind. I am very, you know, to some degree vigilant about things. I keep an eye out, but, you know, I'm not thinking every single person I come by. And if you watch true crime or whatever, then you know. Same with like supernatural stuff. If I'm watching a lot of like ghost stuff, I think, oh my goodness, is that a ghost? Every little sound. The heater comes on, like, oh, there's a ghost in the basement. So it really does. Whatever we are spending our time with, it affects the way that we perceive reality. So be choosy. Decide how you're going to, and you can change it up. It doesn't always have to be the same, but you know, you are in control of that. Okay, let's see. We have a snail. Okay, and we have some loose emotions here, but nothing that looks too overwhelming, right? The snail, taking it slow, really, you know, spending some time experiencing the now. There is a certain sense of presence that maybe hasn't been in all of the readings recently for Libra, but really kind of slowing it down and letting yourself feel the things that you're feeling, but not holding on to them, letting them go as they do. Okay, so this is important. This is something that is hard to learn how to do. You know, and my problem is like anxiety and anger. I sometimes hold on to my anger because it feels like I have some power when I'm angry, and it makes me feel protected. It makes me feel like, okay, I could, you know, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to protect myself. And with this anger, it is the fuel to do that. I'll tell you what, though, being in that heightened state, being in a state of anger, irritability, rage, it wears on you. It just, and it's such, for prolonged periods of time, it becomes such a prison, really. And so this could be true of all kinds of things, all kinds of feelings and beliefs and so on. So as we learn to just feel how we feel, but not attach ourselves to it. Okay. It's hard, but it's a worthwhile endeavor. I promise you. All right. So we're going to go to the Dreamer's deck, 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams from the I Know collection. And I'm just going to stop where it feels right. I'm going to turn this over. This is the last one I just had. It says, I know that I can manifest all that my heart desires. I am ready to receive. I love it. It really, the universe wants me to take this in myself because I've had it 2 readings in a row here. So you're in a good position for manifesting. Yes, you're ready to receive. All right, Libra, thank you for letting me do a bonus reading for you. It is always such an honor for me to be able to do these little readings. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really helps the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. It is free to subscribe to become part of the channel. So, you know, it doesn't cost you anything. And if you do subscribe, you can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean so much to me. And I love hearing from each and every one of you. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk again in just a few days.